Welcome back. So today we're talking about two-step equations, and the main deal here, I'm going to write a two-step equation right here. We've got 2x plus 7 equals 15. What we have to understand with two-step equations is there's going to usually be a variable term. A variable term is right here. It's when you have a variable being multiplied or divided by something. In this case, it's a 2, or multiplying by 2. We need to get this guy together or by itself first in order to continue to solve the problem. So this guy, our variable term, we're going to just write that. This is our variable term. And if I wanted to solve this guy, I would go 2x plus 7 equals 15. And I need to get the variable term by itself first, so I get rid of my 7. Opposite of plus 7 is minus 7. So now I've got 2x equals 8. And my next step, there's an invisible times right there between my 2 and my x. Opposite of times is divide. Divide both sides by 2. And we've got ourselves x equals 4. Bang. So with these guys, it's really two steps, and that's why they're called two-step equations. How about that? Let me do another one here. 19 plus 2n minus 9. Oh, I forgot an equals. It's an important part of an equation. I'll try that again. Here we go. So what we're going to do here, we need to identify what are we going to try and get by itself. Well, first things first, we need to get the variable term by itself. The variable term is 2n, so I need to get rid of this minus 9 first. So let's do that. Opposite of minus 9 is plus 9. And make sure we do it to the other side of the equal sign. We got to make sure we understand what we're doing. Plus 9. And also, you can always double check, make sure you're doing the correct inverse operation. Remember, minus and plus are inverse operations. So now we have a 28 equals 2n. We have a multiplication here. Opposite of multiplication is division. Divide both sides by 2. And we have a 14 equals n. Bop. There we go. Now, I'm going to show you a couple more because these guys can be tricky. So let's do 4 plus, we'll go v over 10 equals 5. This looks different, but here's your variable term. The variable is being acted on by a divide by 10. Okay, so we need to get this guy by itself first. And what we can do is we can minus 4 both sides. And we've got ourselves v over 10 equals 1. And now I just need to get rid of that divide by 10. How do I do that? Opposite of multiplication, opposite of division is multiplication. So we times both sides by 10. My 10s will cancel. Times 10. And I have v equals 10. Boom. Remember, the reason why we can cancel is because this would give us 10 over 10. 10 over 10 is just 1, so we can eliminate that. Let's do, this is a sneaky one. You guys ready for it? Okay. Negative 1 equals r minus 9 over 25. Now, where is the variable term? Because in the past, we've had things like this, where it's like the number is being clearly acted on by a division or multiplication situation. Over here, things are different because this whole thing is being acted on by a divide by 25, but we also have a minus 9. What we have to understand here in this situation, This top is as if it was in parentheses because the whole thing is being acted on by the divide by 25. So we need to free up the top or the numerator by timesing both sides by 25. That's going to cancel this guy here. 25 times negative 1 is negative 25. And then we have r minus 9. And now, oh, well, that looks a lot easier to work with, and it does. So I just add 9 to both sides. Oh, I have to remember there's my line. If I want to remember that. Plus 9 both sides. I still have to remember my negative, or my integer operations. We have a negative and a positive. So we are going to subtract the two numbers. It gets 16. Use the sign of the larger number, which is negative. And that is my answer. Bop. So, in my opinion, these guys are tricky because they have this situation here. Just remember, if you see an expression on top of or being divided by or acted on by a whole number, get rid of that part first. It will make your life easier. One other sneaky problem that I see with algebra is, I will show you, negative 10 equals negative x plus 6. This guy, it looks pretty similar to everything else we've done, but there's a negative before the x. We still solve it as we would normally, as in we're going to get rid of the plus 6 first. Plus opposite of plus 6 is minus 6. Those guys cancel. And we've got ourselves a negative 16 equals negative x. This is the sneaky part, okay? What we have to understand is a negative before x is really a negative 1 before x. Remember, I mentioned that earlier. When you have a variable by itself, you have to understand there's like an invisible 1 there, okay? So, kind of like if you had an apple by itself, you'd tell people, hey, I have an apple. You wouldn't run around saying, I have one apple. It's assumed that if you have an apple, you have one. If you have a variable, you have one of those variables. So a negative x is like a negative 1x. It's helpful for me to put a negative, to make that invisible one visible by writing it. So I'm going to write it right there. And now I have to divide both sides by negative 1 to eliminate the negative. So what happens here is my negatives, a negative over a negative becomes a positive, right? 1 over 1 is just 1. So this is going to be like x. And a negative over a negative pretty much just turns out to a positive. Whenever you have two negatives, it just turns into a positive. You're dividing by 1, so the number stays the same. So it's just a 16. So 16 equals x. Boom. There we go. So just remember, if you ever need to, what do you want to call it, eliminate a negative before a variable, you can divide by negative 1 to eliminate a negative sign. Before the variable. Oops, there's my, I forgot my E. Boom. There we go. Hopefully that is helpful. Again, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.